It is that time of the year once again. With just a week to go before Christmas, the Starlight Celebration has returned to Eorzea. All of the decorations have been laid out, the snow is falling, and everyone's getting ready for the season. And of course, so are we. And I decided I needed to do something a little different for this year. In the past, of course, I had my original Warrior of Light, Edie, take the Starlight Celebration role. But last year, I had a dream where I married someone in real life, and I decided I didn't want to let go of that memory, and so I brought them to life in this game, and I introduced them to you for last year's Starlight Celebration. This year, though, I was inspired by one of the most famous plays to be associated with Christmas, The Nutcracker. And, as a result, I decided it would be a good idea if I brought something to Eorzea associated with it. And so, I decided that for this year's Starlight Celebration, our Stormblood Warrior of Light, Corinne, would play the role of the Sugar Plum Fairy. And so that's what she'll be doing for this year's Starlight Celebration. So, with that in mind, greetings people of the world, Matthias Griffin back with you once again for this special edition of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers as we visit what is the Starlight Celebration for this year. And it's definitely one that has been of the best seasonal events every year that they do. They always bring out ways to make it new and exciting and interesting, and I'm really looking forward to showing it off to you guys this year, because it does mix in elements of previous Starlight Celebrations, but it also adds a really cool twist to it too, and I can't wait to show it off to all of you. So, here we are in Gridania at Miketo's Amphitheater, which has become the real haven for the special events throughout the year, except for Moonfire Fair, which is pretty much now forever in La Nosea and Limsa Lominsa. So, what do you say we head on inside Miketo's Amphitheater? And we will once again find a face that we know all too well. The lovely Amgaranji, the face and picture of eternal optimism in this game. And so we're going to go ahead and speak with her to take on the quest entitled All I Want for Starlight. Amgaranji is looking for someone to be her little helper this Starlight season.
Well, what have we here? If it isn't my favorite adventurer! Why, it's a Starlight miracle! You simply could not have arrived at a better time! As you may recall from our past meeting, I am Amgaranji, and I have the pleasure of serving as celebrant once again for this year's festivities. As you can see, the celebration is in full swing, and I and my colleagues have once again transformed ourselves into the Saints' Little Helpers to dole out gifts galore to the children of our fair realm. Needless to say, there's more to Starlight season than presents and pretty ornaments. This year we've once again decided to stage a musical performance. We'll be ready to raise the curtain in a short while, and we'll be more than honored to have you in the audience.
I believe I can do that.
It is our fervent wish that with the gift of song too serves to warm the hearts and brighten the faces of each and every young boy and girl in town.
Yeah, in fact, as we're having this conversation, yeah, shall we have a look at these particular people?
Father, oh father, look! One of the Saints' Little Helpers brought me a present!
Oh, now, isn't that a splendid thing? And do you know what else? Mother and I have prepared a great feast for the family tonight. Let us head home as soon as the concert is over.
Will there be eel pie? You know I love an eel pie!
Handcrafted by Mother Mew, no less?
Look, the show's about to begin!
That it is, son. Word is it that it's going to be even grander than last year's performance.
And because you don't have to work at the markers this year, we can see it together! It's a Starlight miracle!
Yeah, lots of happiness going around. And then, something catches Am's eye. A little boy all by themselves. An Elazin, to be precise. And they're not looking so good, in comparison to everyone else.
Happy Starlight to you, child. Might I ask your name? Huh? I'm Nally Ponk. What's it to you? Why, what a lovely name. You can call me Pray tell, why the long face? Was your present not what you hoped it would be? No, that's not it at all. I love the stuffed chocobo the little helper gave me. Truly, I thank you for your kindness.
So then what's wrong?
It's just that, you see, I really wish Father could be here.
Uh-oh.
I see. Do tell me more. Father serves in the God's Quiver. His name is L'Automf. Perhaps you know of him?
I'm afraid we don't.
Anyhow, he promised me a fortnight ago that this year, for certain, we'd go to the festivities together. But then he was assigned to emergency duty. Ever since then, he scarcely comes home at night. I know that these are dangerous times and Father's task is an important one, but is it too much to ask that he could at least celebrate Starlight with his family? With the God's Quiver, you say? It couldn't be... Say, Nallypunk, I have an idea. The concert will begin shortly. Why don't we watch it together? Thank you, but I'd rather not. It won't be fun without Father, and besides, I don't care much for song and dance anyway. Good evening to you.
Well, it looks like we know who we gotta help out.
The poor child. As if it weren't hard enough being alone during Starlight season, it must be even more painful to be surrounded by happy families rejoicing together. If only there was something we could do to return the smile to his face. To tell the truth, I just had an idea. The boy said that his father's a bowman of the God's Quiver, did he not?
That he did.
As a matter of fact, a contingent from the Quiver has been enlisted to perform in our concert. It may be merely a coincidence, but I cannot help but wonder if this is the true reason L'Automf is occupied of late. And so I ask of you, adventurer, would you be so kind as to lend your talents to help me chase the shadows from a boy's troubled heart?
I believe we can.
Thank you, my friend. The spirit of the saint truly does live on within you. A bowman by the name of Pierce has been our main contact at Quiver's Hold. If there's anyone who could shed some light on the matter, it will be him.
Well, fear not. The Sugar Plum Fairy will get some answers from Piers Morgan. Yeah, I do wonder why they gave that guy who we're about to meet Piers. Because yeah, I know him that he used to be a judge on America's Got Talent for years in place of Simon Cowell. You know, being the British bloke who tells it like it is and doesn't hesitate to pretty much not hold back on their criticisms. But will we get such criticism out of Piers? We're about to find out. Let's go ahead and speak with the man. I'm Piers, alright. Is there something you need? Yes, indeed, there is. The Sugar Plum Fairy needs some answers. L'Automf's boy is looking for him, you say? That's odd. It's true that her bowmen have had their hands full ensuring the city was safe and secure for Starlight season, but it is hardly so onerous a task as to keep them away from seeing their families entirely. That is, of course... Unless... Yes, that must be it. Go on. Allow me to explain. As you may know, the Starlight Celebration can trace its origins back to ancient Ishgard. Indeed, many of the core tunes sung during the celebration to this day were passed down to us by their temple knights. To honor the tradition, we of the God's Quiver decided to join together with the Archers Guild to take part in this year's Starlight concert, though we might lift the hearts of the children with song just as our Ishgardian counterparts have done throughout the ages. Now that you mention it, L'Automf is one of those who will be taken to the stage for the main performance. No doubt he intends to keep this a secret until the curtain rises. Alright then. His mellifluous voice is truly a marvel to behold. Why, some would say he's the most talented tenor in all of Gridania. And his devotion to his craft is second to none. I would not be surprised if he gave the child some excuse about guard duty in order to sneak off and spend some extra time rehearsing. The performance is almost nigh, yes? If you and your colleagues are concerned, I suggest you seek L'Automf out and inform him of his boy's plight. Last I heard, he was headed to Bent Branch Meadows to reunite with his Lord Chocobo, who was taken there for treatment after behaving erratically of late. On the off chance that he's already moved on, just speak with Elgar at the stables. He's like as not to know where L'Automf went next. Alright then. I guess we gotta go to Bent Branch Meadows then. Alright. Since we've arrived here, I think it makes more sense. I don't want to be riding the, Cloud's motorcycle here, given that it's Starlight Celebration. So, yeah, let's bring out the Starlight Bear from 2 years ago. Yeah, that's much better. Hey there, Elgar. A quiverman by the name of Latonf, you say? Indeed, he left a few bells ago with his feathered friend in tow. If he hadn't returned to his post yet, I'd imagine they must have stopped off somewhere along the way. The poor bird, she's not suffering any physical ailment as far as I could see, and yet she's constantly crying out, champing at the bit and stomping her feet. I suggested to Latonf that perhaps the strain of recent battles is still weighing on her mind. Happens to the birds just as it happens to us, you know, and that a leisurely walk through the woods might do them both some good. Come to think of it, I remember him saying something about swinging by the Jadeite flood on the way home. Mayhap you'd be able to find him there? Oh, why don't we find out? Yeah. Sugar Plum Fairy riding on a dressed up bear! Yeah, let's go find this Latonf. Yeah, they said around the Jadeite flood, so this is where we're gonna be trying to look for the guy. Oh, that's a cool looking glamour for the Chocobo. That's an interesting parting. You look out far and wide, but find no sign of Latonf or his bird. Just as you're about to abandon hope, you make out a voice singing in the distance. As we look upon the Carline Canopy and the waterfalls and the water mills over in Gridania. Fa la 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 la. And over on the left, yeah, his friend is apparently singing too. Chocobos can do that? Tra la 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 la. And back over to his friend. Yeah, singing along with him. Oh, impeccable rhythm, my friend. I knew from the day we met that you were a Chocobo after my own heart. And they approve of this compliment. Yeah, and as we happen to be approaching them, oh, it seems we have a guest. And who might you be? The Sugar Plum Fairy at your service. And we need to tell you something very important. Oh dear, it's true that I've been spending much of my time with my musical pursuits of late, but never did I think my boy would take it so hard. I truly have made a mess of things, haven't I? And at the very time of the year when the smiles of the children ought to take priority above all else. Why, I could brighten the hearts of 100, nay 1,000 children with my song, and it would not mean a thing if my dear Nolly walked away with a frown. Yeah, makes the Chocobo sad too. So what are we going to do about it? A fine bird, is she not? Aye, she is my most loyal and treasured companion. This is why I was all the more troubled when she started to behave strangely of late. And so, at the stablehand's suggestion, I took her on a stroll by the waters. Absent-mindedly, I began to hum a tune when, wouldn't you know it, she started to pick up her feet and prancing in time. Like, really? And that's when it came to me. She wasn't ill, nor troubled of heart or mind. Far from it. She shares my profound passion for music, and merely wanted to join me in song and dance all this time. Isn't that right, my friend? And responds very eagerly. Typically, Quiver's Hold is a stern and somber place, but as the Starlight Celebration drew nearer and nearer, our halls were filled with music and song. Doubtless she's just been beside herself with her desire to partake in the festivities along with her master. Truly friend for all seasons, or are you quite sure about that? Well, yeah, she definitely seems that way, doesn't she? And reacting as such. In any event, never in my wildest dreams did I expect my companion to respond so enthusiastically to my humble renditions of traditional Starlight carols. Would that Nolly felt the same way? Sadly, the boy is of an age where he's more interested in animals than in song and verse. I can only hope that seeing his father perform on the grand stage will change that. Oh, but the elementals take me, how soon I forget! You said my boy has already wandered away from the square, did you not? Which means that he will miss my performance. He'll cry into his pillow tonight thinking that his miserable father abandoned him, and on Starlight no less. Yeah. Don't look so glum, you say. I suppose you're right. How can I hope to put a smile on my boy's face if I myself panic and frown? But I've rambled on enough already. The concert will be getting started at any moment, and my colleagues will be wondering what is keeping me. Might I ask one small favor of you before I go? Pray explain the situation to the Starlight Celebrant and ask to seek her out. To seek out my boy and see to it that he attends the performance. I would surprise him with a Starlight memory that will fill his heart with joy. Yeah, you can count on us. Thank you, my friend. You truly are a Starlight miracle in the flesh. And with that, my companion and I should be returning to the hold. We shall see you at the concert. I trust you will be in attendance. Indeed we will be. And so, now that that's taken care of, let's head back on over to Miketo. Yeah, we get a beautiful sunset as we have this tree hand watching over our shoulder. So, as we make our way back over to Miketo, let's go ahead and talk to again, who's already started to draw quite a crowd. And she's already dressed up in some coral attire. Will she be joining us too?
Well, if it isn't my favorite little helper, how fare you? Were you able to track down dear Naliponk's father?
Well, this is what we found out.
I see. Indeed, I suspected that may well have been the truth of the matter. So Lord Tom's passion for his musical pursuits is what has kept him away from his family. I agree that a surprise appearance from his dear father would go a long way to raise the boy's spirits. Still, how are we to convince him to attend the concert? Yes, that is the rub.
He didn't seem interested in music, or he did like his present. Yeah, he did mention that, so it's important we say so.
Indeed, he sounded most pleased with this stuffed chocobo. If only there was a procession of chocobos or the like, perhaps we could convince him to attend, but I fear we plan nothing of the sort.
Well, actually...
What's this, you say? Lord Tom's companion is the chocobo that dances and sings? How positively bizarre, delightful that is, positively delightful. If this remarkable bird were to take the stage with his dear father, no doubt Naliponk would be thrilled beyond belief. Why, he might even find himself enjoying song and dance as he has never before. Yes, I believe I know just what we have to do. Leave the boy to me. In the meantime, you will seek out Lord Tom once more, convince him to make his feathered friend a part of his performance. Tell him that it's for his son's sake.
Yeah, of course. And so, time for us to return to the Archers Guild. Because, yeah, the man of the hour can't stay away for too long. And so as we arrive over here, found Lord Tom right nearby with his singing chocobo. Oh, well, what's wrong now?
Oh, well, whatever am I to do?
Yeah, someone lose their singing voice? And at the worst time possible?
Forgive me, my friend. I fear I find myself in the throes of desperation and despair. I had a mind to take the stage as planned, but I simply haven't had the heart to do.
Why not?
What a fool I was! I were meant to surprise the boy with a performance for the ages, but what will he think when he finds out that his father's a liar and a coward,
who was falalalling when he was supposed to be protecting the people of Gridania from harm. Why, he'll never trust me again.
What is this whining and wallowing in self-pity? And you call yourself a quiverman?
Who goes there? Members of the Archers Guild, and Bolor Lewin, who was, if you remember, if you started the journey in Gridania, someone you met all the way back when you were first introduced to the Elder Seedseer.
Bolor Lewin, what brings you to this place?
I will ask the questions here, Lotonf. Tell me, what is your sworn duty as a bowman of the God's Quiver?
Why, of course, it is our honor to honor our pact with the elementals, to protect the Dwarves' Wood from outside threats, and to see that not a single resident of fair Gridania comes to harm.
Well, yes, I suppose that is all true, but to put it in more simple terms, one might say it is to preserve peace in the forest, and see that our citizens can live happy and contented lives.
Forgive me, Bolord, I do not quite understand what you are getting at. In other words, bringing smiles to the faces of Gridania's children is an important part of your duty to keep peace in the Dwarves' Wood. Do you understand, Meow? Now?
And of course, Guildmaster Lucian.
Interesting. Looking at you, I'm reminded of my own father, once Bolord of the Quiver in his own right. He was a passionate man, devoted above all to his duties, and I admired him more than anyone in the world. Though I did not follow directly in his footsteps, I have chosen to honor his memory in my own way, by training the brave souls who will keep our fair wood at peace.
Instructor Morco and Guildmaster Lucian, whatever has this humble bowman done to deserve this honor? I have no children of my own, and I'd be lying if I said that watching you now, even your words did not evoke in me a sense of envy and of regret. But even so, there is nothing I would rather see than a smile on the face of you and your boy. After all, it is the season for such things, is it not? And so, as Bow Lord of the God's Quiver, I command you, put your fears aside, take the stage, and serenade young Nalipunk to your heart's content. My colleagues and I will do all in our power to see that your deeply held wishes reach the boy. Yeah, will you do it for us?
Bolor Lewin, I do not deserve this kindness.
Yeah, and the Chocobo's like, yes you do.
But there I go being all glower and gloom again. Thank you, my loyal companion. You're always there for me in my darkest times.
And you, friend, you look as if there's something you wish to say. Do you have a proposal, pray tell, which might resolve my plight? Indeed I do.
What if I were to include my feathered friend in my performance? For Nolly's sake.
Come to think of it, the boy has always been fond of the birds.
His dear father and one of his beloved birds taking the stage together? Yeah, that's an inspiring idea if I've ever heard one. Apologies, a slip of the tongue. When I say meow, I mean meow. Not meow! Meow! Ah!
Yeah, it's no wonder we don't see you all that much.
I must say it sounds like a foolproof plan to me as well. After all, the bird has been trained to serve on the battlefield. Surely a Starlight performance will be well within the realm of its capabilities.
Then I dare say the matter is settled. I trust you have no objections, Lord Tomf?
None in the slightest, Lord Lewin.
That is to say, if you do not, my fast-feathered friend, what say you? Will you do this for me and my boy? Yeah, of course I will.
Oh, whatever have I done to deserve such a constant companion?
Yeah. Chin up, young man.
Right you are. Turn that frown upside down, yes?
Yeah, look at the smile on his face. And I'll bet he's smiling too.
And with that, I have but one last humble request to make of you, friend. Would you be so kind as to conduct our forthcoming performance?
Yeah. Just like last year when Tanya had the honor, Corinne will get it now herself. While my companion here is eager and willing to ascend the stage with me, this will be her first such endeavor. Mind you, I too cannot lay claim to having sung a duet with a Chocobo before. Though she has only known you a short time, it is clear from the look in her eyes she trusts you as much as anyone, her own master included. Were you to lead the performance, I have no doubt she would happily dance to your every instruction. Isn't that so? Just as I thought. So, what say you? Will you join us to make this Starlight a special one for my boy? Yeah. Let's make this a performance for the ages or just have fun out there, yes? No, we really want to make this one count. Thank you, my friend. You truly are a saint. And with that, we should make for the amphitheater. The others will want to be started any time now. And so away they go. And so must we. Back over to the amphitheater. So let's go ahead and give the good news to Am. And with that, complete this particular quest, but there's another to come.
Welcome back, friend. I see your mission was a success. Lord Tomf and his charming little, not so little, really, Chocobo showed up not moments ago. I'm happy to report that I was also able to convince Nolly Ponk to attend the show.
That's awesome.
What's that? You'll be conducting the performance, you say? I knew you were a woman of many talents, but I didn't expect you to volunteer yourself for this as well. Still, I thank you, friend. We are ever in your debt. And with that, I do believe we are ready to get this show on the road. Whenever you would like to begin, simply speak the word.
Alright, and so with that, we'll take our experience in Gil and proceed to move on to our next quest, entitled A Chocobo Carol. Garanji is ready to get the show on the road.
Lord Tomf and his feathered friend have finished their preparations, so we're ready to raise the curtain whenever you are. I've heard the two rehearsing just before, and without spoiling the surprise, of course, I must say I was most impressed. For a man and his chocobo to pursue the musical arts so profoundly, all while keeping the 12s safe from harm, why, it's truly an inspiration to behold. Which is not to minimize your role in all of this. Heavens no! As a humble token of our appreciation, we intend to reward you with special certificates of good cheer, which can be exchanged for a whole host of delightful seasonal goods, specially procured by Black Rabbit traders. If that sounds agreeable to you, let's get down to business. The business of putting the smiles on the faces of every sweet little boy and girl in our audience. Needless to say, this means we need to be at our absolute best from the moment the curtain rises until the very last note is sung. Why, if even a single boy or girl got bored and left mid-performance, they'd have every right to revoke my Starlight Celebrant credentials. Fortunately, I can be certain that would never happen, not with an accomplished adventurer like you conducting the performance. Lord Tomf has assured me that Master and Chocobo both are prepared to follow your every lead, so all I ask is that you keep the tempo rousing and upbeat. It would seem an enthusiastic audience has already begun to assemble. As soon as you feel ready, you need only speak to one of our two celebrants stationed nearby, each of whom has been tasked with gathering together a crowd for the performance. I should give you fair warning, however. One of my colleagues has, how shall I say it, a tendency to be a touch over-enthusiastic about things. I overheard her speaking to the spectators just before, and she was talking in no uncertain terms how this concert was sure to be the stuff of legend and feature the most remarkable performance since Semi Kettle herself took the stage. Suffice it to say that those in earshot will have high expectations for the performance, which means that there will be little room for error. Not that I doubt your ability to deliver a worthy show, of course. I simply suggest that you prepare yourself accordingly. And with that, I do believe it is time we gave our audience what they wanted. Thank you again, friend. I too can scarcely wait to see what you and the other performers have in store for us.
And so, quest rewards and difficulty will vary according to which Starlight Celebrant you approach. So we can speak with the Saturnine or the Splendiferous Celebrant. So over here we'll get 2 sets of the certificates of good cheer. And over here we'll get 3. Similar to last year, but of course, this year is not quite the same as it was last year, but I'll explain in a little while in a moment, once we speak with this guy. Oh, it's you again this year. Yeah, confused me with Tanya, but that's okay. Very well. The younglings are as restless as ever. I told them that if they didn't settle down, the Saint's little helper would be bringing them a lump of gooby done for Starlight. Anyhow, I suppose we might as well begin. This way, please. And so, we will be getting the 2 certificates by doing the Cantabile. So this time, they've also added an additional element to the composition. In addition to the single taps with the blue and the rapid taps with the yellow, they've now given us a hold tap with the red. So that's what we're going to be doing for the song. And it's the same as it was last year. Basically, it's like a composer's version of Dance Dance Revolution, and that's how it's going to work this time. So, everyone's getting ready for the performance, and there's Nali Punk being accompanied by Yeah, everyone's hurrying to get a seat before the performance starts. But yeah, you can tell Nali Punk's not exactly enthusiastic about this, but we might be willing to change that. As certain as face is always smiling. Yeah, and you may notice in the background, if you did Omega and cleared that, Alpha appears in the background. Which is also why I also utilized Corinne for this. And so now it's time for the Sugar Plum Fairy to lead the God's Quiver Choir out onto the stage. As well as bring in the extra special treats. Yeah, look up there, Naughty Punk. We got something special for you. Your father and his little singing friend. Yeah. His face definitely changed. Much to Lartom's content. So, yeah. And of course we're smiling too. But now, it's time for us to perform. So, let us begin. Yeah, they actually did a choir version of the Chocobo theme. And we got a reward for a perfect chain. And so, with our success, let's go ahead and speak with Naughty Punk.
Oh, Father, that was the best! I had no idea you were such good friends with your Chocobo.
Oh, enjoyed the show, did we? I suppose all those hours your father spent rehearsing were for naught. Well, not for naught.
Rehearsing? You mean you weren't on emergency guard duty after all?
I'm sorry, Nolly. I only meant to surprise you, but it seems my deception went too far. Can you forgive your fool of a father for saddening you, and during Starlight of all seasons?
It's fine, Father. I wasn't that sad off at all. More than that, when do I get to ride the Chocobo?
It's like, me wanty. Well, that depends on her, doesn't it now? What say you, my friend? Would you be amenable to giving my dear boy a ride? Yeah, it approves of doing so. She says it would be her pleasure.
Alright! right! Wow, that looks fun! I want to ride the Chocobo too!
Seems very enthusiastic about this. She says come one, come all. The more the merrier.
Yay! Your father's the best, Nolly! You bet he is!
Yeah, we got the perfect smile.
Actually, Father, there's one more thing.
What is it, boy? If it isn't with my power to grant, you need but say the word.
I was wondering, maybe you could teach me how to sing? I never enjoyed music much until I heard your voice, but seeing you up on stage, it just looked like so much fun.
But of course, my boy. Though I must say, there's really nothing to learn. Raise your voice and sing from the heart, and you're sure to bring joy to any and all who will hear it. Isn't that so, my friend? Why don't you show Nolly how it's done? Yeah, sing for us, little Chocobo.
She's singing! The Chocobo's singing! I knew it! This is the best Starlight ever!
Yeah, glad the Sugar Plum Fairy could give a hand to bring these two together for a really happy occasion. And so we'll go ahead and speak with to complete the quest.
To be perfectly honest, I wasn't sure what to think when a choir of bowmen took the stage, but it would seem my worries were misplaced. That was truly a most moving performance. Why, just look at all these smiling faces. You and your friends have filled many a child's heart with cheer this Starlight. And not just that, you brought together a father and his son, with a little help from their feathered friend. I dare say the saint himself would be proud.
Yeah, and speaking of which, yeah, you might be familiar with in the past that Godbert Mandeville portrays the role of the Saint of Nemea, this game's version of Santa Claus. But this year, he doesn't show up. Yeah, kinda strange, isn't it? Yeah, this year he didn't make an appearance.
You've more than earned yourself a rest, I'd say, so why not take some time to enjoy the festivities? And if you'd be willing to oblige your adoring fans with an encore before this season is through, simply say the word.
So we'll go ahead and complete the quest and also take our 2 certificates of good cheer. But since I want to also show off the other version of the song, we'll go ahead and, after taking the achievement Starlight the Chocobo, speak with again to take on A Star Shines On. Voices ring through Mikedo's amphitheater with calls for an encore.
Welcome back, friend. Might I take this to mean you've decided to grace us with an encore? Why, it's yet another Starlight miracle. Rest assured that I myself and all the members of your course are ready to proceed whenever you are. Needless to say, your adoring fans have already assembled in droves. As soon as you're ready to take the stage, you need only speak to one of the 2 celebrants with whom you've already acquainted yourself.
And so now, we'll go on over and take on the Capriccio.
Lo and behold, the conductor of legend makes her most triumphant return. Worry not, Maestro, I've assured your adoring audience that this year will mark the arrival of your magnum opus. Are you ready to share the gift of your musical genius with one and all?
Indeed we are. So this is where, from this point forward, you now have the option to compose the Starlight the Chocobo song that you just heard, or have the original choir from last year perform last year's Starlight Celebration theme. But, of course, we want to show off the hard version of this year's song, so wish me luck. This one is actually quite challenging. But yeah, you can see what I mean. That I practiced that for a solid hour, and still, that's how tough it is. Yeah, I practiced that one version of the song, and it still took me an hour to try and figure it out. But yeah, that's just how challenging they made the hard version of that song.
Why, I dare say the performance was even better the second time around. Shows that a bit of seasoning can do for you, yes? Thank you for gracing us with your remarkable conducting talents once more. Believe it or not, the audience is calling out for yet another encore. I realize that you have other commitments, saving the room and all that, but if you'll be willing to oblige them before this season is over, you need only say the word.
And so we'll take our 3 certificates. And so with that, we'll also go ahead and show off the various things that you can get out of this year's Starlight Celebration. Being provided over here, as they said, through the Black Market Traders Starlight Supplier. This includes, among other things, some saintly barding for your Chocobo, the Starlight to Chocobo Orchestra and Roll, some poster from last year, a cake, a wreath, and some magic prisms are available for this year. I'll be coming back here again to get the song for the, or I'm getting the song, but I'm gonna be making sure to get the barding too, because I do want to make sure I show it off at least to you guys. So I'm gonna make a point to do the song again, get the barding, and then I'll show it off once we arrive in Shirogane at the FC home. So back in a moment. Okay, so we have arrived back in Shirogane, and as you can see, my Chocobo is all decked out with the barding that you just saw Larton's Chocobo wearing. And so, yeah, you get this one for yourself as well. I would have shown Corinne wearing this, or shown Corinne riding the Chocobo, but her Sugar Plum Fairy dress is so big it actually covers most of the barding. Yeah, I thought that looked really hilarious. In fact, I probably should show this. So, yeah, let me go ahead and fetch my Chocobo, just so you can see how hilarious this is. Let's go ahead and mount my Chocobo. Yeah. No shortage of hilarious. Yeah. Instead of the saintly barding, the Chocobo that Corinne is riding is wearing a Sugar Plum Fairy barding. Yeah, I had to show this off just because of how hilarious it looked when I first saw it. I was like, what's going on here? Yeah, I could not help but want to show that off because of just how hilarious it looked. So also as well, I want to go ahead and head inside the house. Well, we've already started to get all of the musical compositions from Starlight Celebration from this year and last year now playing in the house. So yeah, you can see the food from this year is already decked out there. It's basically a Swiss roll with strawberries on top. We're gonna go ahead and move things around a little bit just so I can put another one on here. In fact, our house is so full, this is literally the last thing I can put on here. Yeah, as much as I enjoy the stuff in our house, it's maybe a little too much. Because yeah, there was actually a couple things I had to put away just to even get some of the stuff, like the Starlight log, onto the house and onto the table, as well as the poster promoting last year's Starlight Celebration. I also had to make a little room in order to put this on as well. But we got it all taken care of, and of course, I'll also show you the new magic prisms. We got the sunshine one and the stardust one, so we'll go ahead and show off the sunshine one first. Yeah, it's more like twinkling stars than sunshine, but it still looks cool. And then we got the stardust. Yeah, stars and confetti to boot. Definitely something that was very nice that I really appreciate. So we got the whole house decked out now for the Starlight Celebration. I hope if you're playing the game that you get to enjoy it too. And yeah, if you guys can be able to get a perfect score on the hard version of the Starlight the Chocobo song, do make sure to let me know, because yeah, that I kept trying after in order to get more certificates of good cheer to get more stuff for the house, and I still couldn't get a perfect score on it. So yeah, let me know if you're able to get one without any mistakes, and let me know if you pulled it off. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching this special episode for the Starlight Celebration in Final Fantasy XIV for 2019. And so, this is likely the last Final Fantasy XIV Let's Play video that we will do. Of course, we'll still have a couple more vlogs before the year is out, and we'll make sure to have those out for you guys to enjoy. And I hope that all of you enjoy whatever it is you may be celebrating during this season, and enjoy with your family, friends, and have a good time. So, thank you very much everyone for watching, and as we send Corinne off as the Sugar Plum Fairy, I think it's only appropriate that we give her a fresh set of wings. So, thank you very much everyone for watching, and until next time everyone, may you ever walk in the light of the crystal.